Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video I'm just going to be real quick covering the new Pokemon cards that I just got. um, I have nothing else to do, so I'm kind of bored. I just got these. I paid for them, these special ones online, so I'm going to be just going over them. The first one I got is this one called Suicune GX. It's got 180 HP, it's a water type, so it'll go in my water deck. It has an ability called Phantom Winds, which is once during your turn before you attack. If this Pokemon's on your bench, then you can shuffle it and all cards attached to it in your deck. This is really good because if it's a really weak Pokemon, if it's like has really low health, you can retreat it and then use the ability to put it back into your deck, curing all the damage from it. Its attack is called Cure Stream. It does 120, and it says during your opponent's next turn, the defending Pokemon takes attacks do 30 less damage. This is really good because if there's a Pokemon that has like a double attack that does 30 damage and then it does 30 damage to a bench Pokemon, then the attack literally does nothing, so that's kind of OP. Um, then his GX attack is called Brinsicles. It does 150, and you switch the Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. It's a decent GX attack, but I'm not sure if I really think it's one of the best. Next one we have is Celesteela GX. It's got 200 HP. It's a normal type, so it can go in any deck. It's also an Ultra Beast, which is interesting. The ability is where it's at, though. Force Canceller. Um, as long as this Pokemon is your active Pokemon, prevent all effects of your opponent's GX attacks, including damage done to your Pokemon, which is just insanely overpowered if you know the state of this game. Power Cyclone does 110, and you get to move an energy from this Pokemon to one of your bench Pokemon, which is always a solid attack because you get to move energies from one Pokemon to another, so it's pretty solid. Then Discovery GX is a very interesting GX attack, and you get to choose your prize cards and put them into your hand, and then take that many prize cards from the top of your deck from how many you had left, and you get to put them down as your prize cards. If you don't have that many prize cards, then the attack doesn't do anything. So next one I have is a very interesting one. This is a new one called the Tag Team Series, and these have just came out. But the first one that we have of the Tag Team Series is Mega Lopunny and Jigglypuff GX. They have 240 HP. It's a normal type. I'll tell you the gimmick behind these cards later. Their main attack is called Jumping Balloon. It does 60 damage off the bat, and it does 60 more for each of your opponent's GX and EX in play. Again, this is a great card if you know the strategy that a lot of people use in this game. And then their next one is called Puffy Smashers GX. It automatically makes the Pokemon asleep, and if this Pokemon has 4 extra energy, other from the one that you had to use, you can do 200 damage to one of your opponent's benched Pokemon, which is enough most of the time to knock them out in one shot. So, very great. But this is the catch. They're very powerful, but when they die, your opponent gets to take 3 prize cards instead of 2. So getting 2 of these knocked down in a game would automatically make you lose. Next one is Lapras GX. Lapras GX has 190 HP. She's a water type, so she'll go in my water deck. She has an ability called, well, not an ability, but an attack called Collect, where you draw 3 cards. Then she also has one called Blizzard Burn, which does 160 damage, which is a pretty good amount, but in return she can't attack the next turn. And her GX attack is Ice Beam, which does 100 damage and makes your opponent's Pokemon paralyzed. I really like Lapras GX because she's kind of like a better version of Kangaskhan EX. She has the ability to draw cards for your team and take up a tank load of damage, and also has pretty solid attacks, much better than I would say Kangaskhan EX. But yeah, her GX attack is solid. If you need to use it, then yeah. And then the only EX that I had that I wanted to get was Regirock EX. He has 108 HP. He's going to go in my fighting deck because he's a fighting type. And his ability is really good. It's called Regi Power. And the attacks of your fighting Pokemon, excluding him, of course, do 10 more damage to your opponent's active Pokemon. So my goal with him is to keep him on the bench for most of part of the game, because if he's on the bench, he'll just be I'll just be able to use his ability and to make almost my entire deck to do more damage to the opponent. 10 more damage sounds measly, but it could be life or death. Next, his attack is called Bedrock Press. It does 100, and then during your opponent's next turn, any damage done to this Pokemon is reduced by, what is it, 20? It is 20. Okay, it's 20. I'm just making sure. It kind of looked like a 30. But, yeah, so it's reduced by 20. His attack is decent, but my goal with him is just to put him on the bench so that you can get things. Next, I have Tapu Fini GX, who's 170 HP. She's a water type, so again, going in my water deck. She is kind of filler. I'm not even gonna lie, but she was so cheap. She was like $2, so I was like, I had to cop. And you know, her attacks are actually kind of decent. So, Awkward Ring is 20, and you may switch this Pokemon with one of your bench Pokemon. Attack that offers that is always great, in my opinion. And then next she has Hydro Shot. Discard 2 water energy attached to this Pokemon. This attack does 120 damage to one of your opponent's Pokemon. I feel like this is kind of bad in a way because you should only have to discard 1, not 2. That's OP. That shouldn't be a thing. And her ability Tapu Storm GX is kind of bad as well because you shuffle your opponent's active Pokemon and all cards attached to it into their deck. And that's kind of like the ability for Suicune GX, but you're doing it to your opponent. So if your opponent's Pokemon is weak, but then again, it can work in an opposite way for you because like if your other opponent's Pokemon is just dominating your team, then you can just use this ability to get them out of there, so that that you actually have a chance to win the game. So I guess that's fine. Tapu Fini GX isn't really bad actually. I shouldn't say that because if you know how to use item cards and stuff like that, then it should be fun. Next, I have Kangaskhan GX. So now I have every Kangaskhan, GX, EX, and Mega. He has 180 HP. He's a normal type. He is the first attack, which is the Split Spiral Punch. It does 20, and it makes your opponent's Pokemon confused. The reason why this is so good is because it leads to the next attack, which is Enraged Strike. It automatically does 80, and if your opponent's Pokemon is confused, then it does 80 more damage. Split Spiral Punch automatically makes them confused, so if you immediately use this next turn, you'll easily be hitting 160s every 2 turns. Then Familial Combo is his GX attack. It does 150, and you get to draw 5 cards. It's solid if you know if you need cards, and it does a lot of damage too. So I mean, it's a pretty solid card. Next, we have one of the most overpowered cards I think I've ever seen in my entire life, and that is Blastoise and Piplup GX, another tag team card. 270 HP. It's a water type. He starts off OP right off the bat with his first attack, Splash Maker. Splash Maker automatically does 150 damage for a 3 energy attack, and you may attach up to 3 water energy cards from your hand to your Pokemon in any way you like. And if you do, you heal 50 damage from those Pokemon for each card you attach to them in this way. You can literally heal any one of your Pokemon when this Pokemon is active. You retreat a Pokemon to the bench. Like if I retreat Suicune to the bench, I can attach all 3 of these energies, heal all of his health. That's just so overpowered. That attack is absolutely OP in every way. And then next we have Bubble Launcher GX, which requires the same energy but more. It automatically does 100 and makes your opponent's active Pokemon paralyzed. But if it has 3 extra water energy along with the actual cost, then it does 150 more damage, which equals 250, which is most of the time enough to kill any character in the game, unless it's another one of these tag team GXs. But yeah, Blastoise and Piplup GX is one of the greatest cards I think I've ever seen. The attacks are just so overpowered. Can't even understand. Next, I have another tag team, Lucario and Melmetal GX. 260 HP is a metal type, so it's going to go in my metal deck. Their GX attack is very, very good. Very good. Like, I would use this as my GX attack almost every turn. But anyway, his first one is called Steel Fist. It does 50 for 2 energies. It's not bad. You get to search your deck for a metal energy and attach it to this Pokemon, so it's not bad. It's literally using energy search and attacking at the same time, so it's not bad at all. And then also he has his attack called Heavy Impact, which is 150, which obviously is a very, very large amount of damage. And his GX attack is very, very interesting. And what his GX attack is it's called Full Metal Wall GX. And for the rest of the game, your metal Pokemon take 30 less damage from your opponent's attacks. That's insane. That is insane. That literally is like one of the best GX attacks I've ever seen. And if it has 1 extra energy from the one that you have on it, then you can discard all the energy from your opponent's active Pokemon. So Lucario GX and Melmetal are literally some of the best cards I've ever seen. Like these two right here that I just went over are like some of the best cards. And then the final one that I have is Celebi and Venusaur GX. 270 HP, grass type, so it's going to my grass deck. I'm actually really, really excited for this. Pollen Hazard, 50 damage, but it makes your opponent's active Pokemon burn, confused, and poison. That's insane. That is insane. That's a very, very powerful attack. It has Solar Beam for 150. Also, it has there's an attack called Evergreen GX. It requires 4 energies. It does 180 damage, and you get to heal all damage from the Pokemon right off the bat. And if it has 1 extra grass energy attached to it, then you get to shuffle all cards from your discard pile into your deck. So that can be an extremely good GX attack, because if you're running out of cards or you want more powerful Pokemon that you lost and back into your deck, then you can do that and shuffle all of those cards back into your deck by adding 1 extra energy. So yeah, these are the Pokemon cards I got for my birthday. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one.